Hey everyone, Jared Gatsby, your local real estate superhero here again. Good morning, happy Saturdays, and happy 1st of August. So that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about, but that's all right because we'll get to it when we get to it. We are doing our gratitudes for the morning, going over the things that we're grateful for. I need to shave, very obviously, but I haven't really gotten all too ready today. Reason being is also kind of in my gratitude. So yeah, just something I figured I can kind of do really quickly, and it's something that's real small, and it's kind of got a bigger impact than the amount of effort that it takes in order to put into it. And so if I can do something small like this and it kind of have a really genuine ripple effect in helping a lot of people, or just making one person smile, I'm okay with that. So we're going to get into it. 5 things that we're grateful for starting off our day. Number 1 is I put surprising my muffin. If for anyone who doesn't know, my muffin is my wife, and so that's Lily. And it is the first day of her birthday month, which I mentioned before that I'm excited for this month because of the fact that there's just a bunch of things going on in it that are really positive. One of those things is the fact that her birthday is on the 17th. And so it is the first day of August, which is what I qualify as her birthday month. And so I woke her up this morning with pie and Starbucks coffee, which oddly enough, I did not get myself any Starbucks coffee. I did, however, rewash my fancy coffee cup that I talked about the other day, because I don't really care too much about fancy coffee or buying fancy coffee. Like, if it's good, I like Starbucks coffee. I have nothing against it. It's just not wanting to spend that much money on it because all I'm going to get there is regular coffee anyways. But that's number 1. I was able to wake her up this morning. I was able to get up a little bit earlier than her in order to kind of go to the store in order to get her some stuff. So I was really happy that I can do that, and it's kind of a fun thing for me to be able to do. Kind of been egging her on all of last month, talking about how she can't have this or she can't do that because it's not her birthday month yet. So, second point, kind of an extension of the first one, is I put the fact that it is August 1st. There's more going on in August than just my wife's birthday. Air conditioning just came on, so if you guys heard weird noises in the background, that's what that is. But there's a lot going on in August that I'm really excited for. There's a lot going on with my business that I'm really excited for, which I will get into a little bit of that in one of the other ones, because for whatever reason, everything's connected on this one. But some other stuff is I already have deals that are getting ready to go through right now, which I'm really excited for. And so usually I have a certain list of things that I have planned for the following month. And it's really exciting to see so much of it already pre-planned in advance. And so I'm really excited for those to happen, and any of the other ones that I've got in my pipeline of urgent events that will come to fruition. I'm really excited about that. So August is going to be kind of an amazing month. I know 2020 has been kind of a crappy year, and I think that this is the time where I'm going to start seeing a bit of a resurgence of positivity and everything. So if nothing else, my mornings are going to be starting off positive, so I like that. So yeah, I mean, going into a whole bunch of stuff, August 1st is just a symbol of the fact that we are in August, and August is going to be amazing. So number 3, I am updating my vendors list. And so what does that mean? I talk to and help a lot of people. One thing I try to do my best is not just be a random real estate agent who only talks about real estate ever only. And so one thing that I like to do is help people whenever they have a lot that they need to take care of, whether it be real estate related or otherwise. And so I have a very extensive vendors list of people that I trust. It can be things that are very hyper specific to real estate, like things that would help a lot with stuff around the house: painters, plumbers, handymen, contractors, stuff like that, just in general. But I also have things like wedding planners and florists and things along those lines that aren't very specific to real estate at all, but they help people, and I like having stuff like that as well, because not everyone's always going to need real estate help right away or any time in the immediate future. And so if I'm only ever talking to people about real estate, I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about really fast. So one thing that is sad about the fact that we've been dealing with all of the crap in 2020 is a lot of people have either shut down their businesses or have put a pin in what they're doing right now, and it can be taxing on a lot of businesses. I think I've been one of the luckier ones to kind of have an influx of business as a result of everything, and so I want to make sure I don't take that for granted. So what I'm doing is I'm going into groups that are in my community And I'm just asking for people to give me their recommendations on whatever businesses they run or so on. And it's because I want to update my vendors list for some people who may not be doing work, but also for just random stuff. Someone asked me in the comments of that, you know, am I looking for anything specific, or what am I hoping to find, or who am I hoping to find, or what kind of business am I hoping to focus on? And I'm not hoping to focus on anything. The posts that I make because of that actually give me a little bit of a double-edged sword, in the sense that I'm able to give people a platform to say, hey, this is my business. And so because so many businesses have sort of had to make that gut call to say, I'm going to stop my practice for right now, there are some people who haven't yet. And so giving them a little bit of a platform to say, this is my business and I'm excited to share it with you, that, I don't know, even if it's not with me, there are people out there in groups that I made or am part of for networking that are based solely off of just networking with other people and other businesses in the area. And I've seen them work where even if you just get one client, if all it took was being friends with someone on Facebook or commenting on a post on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, that's a very solid reason for me to want to make a post like that. And so I get to update my vendors list, and I get to give people a little bit of a voice that, they've had but maybe haven't been using. So I'm extremely excited about that. Number 4, I talked about having an idea for August, and I've talked about it before as well. A few days ago, I mentioned having some really cool ideas that I'm really excited to implement and present to you guys at some point. One of those ideas is the idea of doing Zoom interviews with other business owners, either in town or people who have businesses that affect things in town. So if you are one of my friends that are a really big business owner that maybe doesn't live in, Inland Empire, Orange County area, but definitely has businesses that are affecting, Inland Empire, Orange County area, then I definitely want this to be something for you as well. But local businesses or people in the industries, I want to be able to start interviewing through something simple like a Zoom call for 15 minutes and be able to upload those to just kind of give people an idea of what their business is like, kind of almost like an expansion of the whole post that I made about my vendors list. Is I want to be able to just have a conversation with people, but then let other people see that conversation as a positive. If I'm talking to you about your business and you're, a chef and you have your own restaurant, you definitely may have business going on right now. It's not a business that necessarily had to shut their doors, but it definitely got affected by everything in 2020. And so if people hear your story about how you had to adapt and acclimate and overcome, that's a really amazing story that I think more people need to hear, for the businesses that have found a way to be in a really weird situation, sometimes bad, sometimes horrible, sometimes just strange and different, and they found a way to make that help their business, or at the very least found a way to make sure that their business wasn't negatively affected more than it needed to be. And so I want to hear that kind of a story, and I want other people to be able to hear that kind of a story. So I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of the people that are small business owners that I know or I'm friends with, and just interview you guys if you've got 10, 15, 20 minutes. And if you're comfortable with it, upload that to social media, so that way you get more recognition for your business. It gives me something positive that I can do in order to help friends in the community. And it's a solid way it's selfish too. I get my face out there, and I'm not going to be talking about real estate all too much unless it's relevant to your business, but my face is there. So people get to recognize me, they get to recognize your business, you get to promote your business. And I don't know, I always try to find ways that can help my company and what I do for a living, while also helping other people with their companies. Because it's really easy to just say, how can I help me today? But I need to put my business hat on and my business owner hat on and say, okay, well, I need to run my company, but how can I run my company in a way that can help other people with theirs? And so that's what this is for. So that's number 4. Number 5 is a conversation I've been having with my wife about different forms of media. So I use TikTok for small little business things I need to do. There are certain features on TikTok that are really cool. There are a lot of features on TikTok that I really hate. And so we were having a conversation this morning about the idea of what TikTok is supposed to be or what it's not supposed to be. And it just kind of made me start thinking about the antithesis to this, which would be podcasts, long form, audible media that you can consume through just listening, versus TikTok, which is 99%, visual short form media. And so it made me really, compare the two and say like, oh, well, this is the area where most people are going, or this is the area where most people are going. And it really just made me realize that there's a lot of different forms of media that give a lot of people different forms of expression. And I don't like TikTok, but that's okay, because even if TikTok goes away, or if podcasts become unpopular, or if YouTube finally has something that rivals it, or whatever, there's always going to be a plethora of different forms of media for people to start being able to use, which is not what you could have said 10 years ago, which is what makes it so fascinating, is that there's so many different ways for people to be able to communicate with each other nowadays that there just wasn't before. And so, I don't know, I'm excited at what that means as potential for a lot of people, for a lot of businesses, for a lot of individuals that maybe want to start businesses, for a lot of individuals who don't want to start business but want an ability to express themselves. Having a bunch of different forms of media, it's something that's put the world on a very leveled playing field. And it's not fully leveled. People are always going to start with different advantages and disadvantages, but the gap between what we were capable of and what we're capable of now has exploded in a good way, because now there is no bridge that you have to follow. There's not any one way of getting from point A to point B. There's 1,000 different ways, and it's up to us to figure out what we want to do with that. And so, I don't know. I'm fascinated by it because people know that I love being on camera. I probably have way too much of an obsession with being on camera, but even like my sister, for one, likes to just be taken photos of. She likes to be photogenic and have her message in writing alongside images of her or things about her that have an impact. And that's beautiful too, because even going back to just writing or blogging, there are so many different ways to connect with people and relate to people that it just makes it kind of fascinating to see how much potential the world really has as a result of how much the world's really grown. And especially in a year like 2020, where it's easy to look at how much we've fallen, I'm really excited for August, and I'm really excited to see where everything's going. So that's it. That's my 5 points. That's the things that I'm really grateful for. That's my gratitudes. I want to know what your gratitudes are. I want to know what you're excited for going into the next month. And I want to know if you have any plans for the next month, or if you're just really excited for what it might bring. So talk to you guys later, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.